Welcome to this little video. I do a little bit of voice this time because what I want to show is a little bit more complex than I can just make in a single line of tweet or something like that. So let's get started. It's going about constructed textures. Something which I put in recently to help artists creating textures for games. So usually you have to go and make a texture in a tool like GIMP or something else, and you then import it into a game, and if you have to change something, you have to redo this process and do it all over again. But sometimes you just want to have variations on a texture, you don't want to go through everything, through this entire process. So here is a little shortcut. So, starting with a little model. So, here we have a little jacket. Let's put the light around. And let's say we want to put something on this jacket just quickly without having to alter the texture files themselves. We have, for the color, now the new field constructed. Constructed texture is using a similar kind of way to draw it, like you have it in a paint application, but not this sophisticated. So let's get started. The texture we are using is 2048 in size, so let's get this constructed texture up to the same size. Okay, this is now a little bit empty, but basically that's our canvas. Let's put in an image, give it the exactly same texture we've been using, and make sure it's filling all the space. So now we are exactly at the same place we are by simply using an image. So let's put something on it. For example, let's see, what do we have in the testing? Yeah, something like this, for example, huh? Doesn't matter that much. Let's put in an image and let's place it somewhere on the back, for example. So to quickly add an image. What we now get is this. Our texture has an image on it. Now we have got here a tintable texture, so this is a little problem if we adjust the color. It's going with it. So the nice part on these constructed textures is that you can use it on every property. So we'll take this node and add a new property, tint mask. So basically we cancel out the area we don't want to use for tinting. Let's start again and paste this node. So it's now exactly the same place we have there, but there's a little problem. If you look at the texture definition, a mask has a single component, so it's a grayscale channel. We can't use colors on it, so one of the nice properties of the constructed system is that you can alter the nodes in its appearance. So here I can say, yeah, let's colorize it black. And that's exactly all we want to have. If looking now, that's exactly what we want. A texture which we can adjust the colorization, but what we've put on top of it is not affected, huh? So that's basically what you can do with textures and constructed textures. Perhaps we want to also make this a little bit more, just for a quick test. We've got also additional stuff like, no, not image, we don't want image. Let's take a shape, for example. I don't know. Nah. Let's say we use something like this here. I don't know, for example, make something. And then perhaps a little bit of text. Let's place it in the same field. For example, like this. Let's pick something. What do we have here? Yeah, just something. Now let's make this a little thing. So, well, just as an example, that's a stupid example, but that's not important, just for showing. Now also copying this one over, paste, and please black. So there are a lot of things you can do to quickly alter the texture. And now we can look if this works. Let's save it under this one. And let's see how this is going to look like. Come on. So that's a little my graphic card, which is not the fastest in loading. Just a little driver issue. So let's go here and let's get some NPC so we see how this is going to look like. So voila, they should be here into any minute, guys. So now they should be all coming. No, they still don't have it. I forgot to change the texture. My bad. That's the one I just saved. Doesn't work without. So. Okay, next try. This one is the right texture. These constructed textures are especially also made to help quickly change something without having to go back and through all the authoring process of textures. This is a lot more simple. You could, for example, make a couple of variations of textures, like in this case, things to put on clothes, on objects, on whatever, and then you can quickly create new textures which are a variation of a base texture. So now we should have a bunch of guys. Come on, nobody's going out? You're kidding me? Ah, there's some. Our new texture in action. Exactly how we want it to have, tintable and all. Nice, wood. But that's not the only thing you can do. That's one thing you can do. But constructed textures are also useful for a little bit more than just actor textures. Let's, for example, use, what do we take? Personal pavement, something like that. So, a pavement here. Let's say I want to make a variation of such a pavement which is a little bit worn, broken down, something fell on it, cracks in it, something like that. Here we can do exactly the same. The color is this size. We want to make it a little bit bigger though, because I'm using an image that's a little bit higher in resolution. Let's start with the texture itself. Blow it up to scale. Whoops. But repeat it 2 times. So we have a little bit more space for what's going to happen. Now let's say we need this for the normal too, otherwise it's not going to be correct. Yep, here we take this guy too. So 2 times, and now we are exactly on the same situation but in a constructed case. So let's put here some cracks, for example. Let's see if there is something around. Yeah, this one for example. Yeah, put some cracks into this guy for example. Let's also put it on the normal. But the name would be crack normal. And let's duplicate this one, perhaps rotating it a little bit, and I don't know, putting it somewhere here, or what do we want to do? Perhaps something like this, a little bit less big. Just for testing, yeah? Nothing big. Copy texture. Normal. Paste. And here the same. Okay. Perhaps. What do we have otherwise? I don't know, perhaps. Yeah. Bit of stain? Nah, that's looking not so good. Yeah. Let's stick with it. Perhaps something like this. Okay. That's it. Let's leave it at that for a test. So we have now create a variation of our texture, which is the previous texture passed with a couple of cracks in it, for example. That's how fast you can make a new variation of a texture using a constructed system to create a lot of different variations in less time. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you're looking forward to get your hands on this engine. Have a nice day.